My father's story began in the slums. Poverty was his only companion. Hunger, his constant shadow. Life had shown him its cruel face far too early. The lack of money, of opportunities gnawed at him. He vowed to escape the clutches of poverty. He craved wealth, dreamt of it, obsessed over it. It became the sole driving force of his life. Little did he know, this burning desire would consume him entirely. He would chase it relentlessly, even if it meant sacrificing his very soul. Wealth, he believed, was the only escape from the humiliation of his past. It was the only key to respect, to love, to everything he ever desired. No one would love you if you had no money. These words echoed through my entire childhood. They were a constant refrain, a chilling mantra that haunted me. My father, now a wealthy man, drilled this into us. He believed it was the truth, the ultimate life lesson. He showered us with extravagant gifts, a poor attempt to compensate for his absence. Each expensive toy, each designer outfit felt like a bribe to accept his gospel of gold, to overlook the emptiness that permeated our lives. We lived in a mansion, a testament to my father's success. Our lives were a spectacle of luxury, exotic vacations, designer clothes, a fleet of cars. We had it all. But behind the facade of opulence, a nagging unease lingered. My father was always secretive about his work. He came and went at odd hours, his face etched with worry. There were hushed phone calls, furtive meetings, and the constant presence of men who looked out of place in our polished world. Their eyes held a coldness that sent shivers down my spine. I felt like a bird trapped in a gilded cage, surrounded by luxury, but starved of something far more precious, the truth. As I grew older, the whispers in the walls grew louder. The expensive facade couldn't muffle the unsettling truth that lurked beneath. Newspapers hinted at a darker side to my father's business empire. There were whispers of illegal dealings, of connections to the underworld. I tried to ignore them, to cling to the image of the successful businessman my father so desperately projected. But doubt, like a persistent weed, had taken root in my mind. I owed it to myself, to my family, to uncover the truth. Little did I know, the journey for answers would lead me down a path more treacherous than I could have ever imagined. Section 5. Shadows and Secrets. This is a tale of hidden truths and concealed realities, where every shadow holds a secret waiting to be unveiled. Driven by a thirst for the truth, I started my investigation. Each document I flipped through, each file I opened, brought me closer to the heart of the mystery. I followed my father, my heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. The streets were dark and foreboding, every step echoing with the weight of my suspicions. Late-night rendezvous in dimly lit alleys, exchanges with shady characters, and whispered conversations in the dead of night painted a picture of a world I never knew existed. Secret warehouses under the cover of darkness. These were the places where deals were made and lives were changed forever. The more I uncovered, the uglier the truth became. Each revelation was a piece of a puzzle that formed a horrifying image. My father wasn't just a successful businessman. He was a man of many faces, each one more sinister than the last. He was a master puppeteer of a vast criminal network, pulling strings from the shadows, orchestrating events with a cold, calculated precision. The realization hit me like a physical blow. The man I had looked up to, the man I had trusted, was the architect of a dark empire. The man who preached the importance of wealth had built his empire on a foundation of lies and deceit. His public persona was a mask, hiding the true nature of his dealings. The money that had bought our silence, our complicity, was the blood money of countless innocent lives. It was a legacy of corruption and betrayal, one that I could no longer ignore. Section 6. The Ugly Truth. The confrontation was inevitable. It was a moment we all knew would come, yet none of us were truly prepared for. The weight of the truth, suffocating in its enormity, had to be aired. It was like a dark cloud hanging over us, growing heavier with each passing day. I confronted my father. The evidence laid bare before him. The documents, the bank statements, the undeniable proof of his actions.
His face, usually a mask of stoicism, crumpled. The facade he had maintained for so long shattered in an instant. Denial morphed into anger, then a chilling resignation. He confessed to everything. The illegal operations, the shady deals, the betrayals, the web of lies he'd spun, it all came pouring out. Each revelation was like a dagger to the heart, cutting deeper and deeper. He tried to justify his actions, claiming he did it all for us, for the family, for a future he thought we deserved, for the life he'd never had. He spoke of his own struggles, his own dreams that had been crushed, but his words rang hollow. The damage was done and no amount of justification could undo it. In his quest for wealth, he had become the monster he always feared. The reflection in the mirror was unrecognizable, a stranger staring back at him. He'd traded his soul for a gilded cage, a prison of his own making, surrounded by luxury, but devoid of true happiness. And in doing so, he'd destroyed everything that truly mattered. The family, the love, the trust, all shattered, leaving behind only emptiness and regret.
The revelation shattered our family. My mother, blinded by her love and the comfort of our lifestyle, refused to believe it at first. When the reality finally sunk in, the pain was unbearable. The foundation of our family, built on lies and deceit, crumbled. The life we knew, the love we thought we shared, was it all a lie?
I distanced myself from my father, unable to comprehend his choices. The man who'd taught me the value of hard work, of honesty, had lived a lie. The guilt and shame in his eyes were a constant reminder of his betrayal. The man who craved love had pushed away the only love he truly had. The long arm of the law, though slow, is relentless. My father's empire, built on a foundation of sand, eventually collapsed. His wealth, amassed through illegal means, couldn't save him from the consequences of his actions. He was arrested, his face splashed across newspapers, his crimes laid bare for the world to see.
The irony wasn't lost on me. The man who craved wealth above all else ended up in a cold, cramped prison cell, stripped of everything he held dear. His story was a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that the pursuit of wealth, devoid of ethics and morality, can only lead to ruin.
My father's downfall was my wake-up call. I saw firsthand the devastating consequences of valuing wealth above all else. Witnessing his descent into darkness fueled my resolve to choose a different path. I vowed to build my life on a foundation of honesty and integrity. I wouldn't let his sins define me. I would honor the values he'd preached but failed to live by. I would find success, but I would do it with a clean conscience. I would prove that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of one's character. The price of my father's wealth was astronomical. He had everything money could buy, yet he was always searching for something more, something that eluded him despite his vast riches. It cost him his family, the very people who should have been his greatest treasure. The empty seats at our dinner table were a constant reminder of what we had lost. It cost him his freedom, as he became a prisoner of his own making, trapped by his relentless pursuit of wealth. And ultimately, it cost him his soul, leaving him a hollow shell of the man he once was. It taught me a valuable lesson. True wealth is not measured in money, but in love, integrity, and the connections we build with those around us. These are the things that bring genuine joy and fulfillment, and the impact we have on others. It's about the kindness we show, the lives we touch, and the difference we make in our communities. It's about leaving behind a legacy we can be proud of, one that speaks to our character and the values we hold dear. One built on honesty and compassion. These are the true markers of a life well lived. My father's story, though tragic, became my guiding light. It showed me the path I did not want to follow and illuminated the way to a more meaningful existence. It taught me that the pursuit of wealth, devoid of ethics, is a fool's errand. Chasing money at the expense of our morals and relationships leads only to emptiness. It taught me that true happiness lies in living a life of purpose, in finding joy in the simple, everyday moments and in the service of others. Of making choices that reflect the best versions of ourselves. Every decision we make should be a step towards becoming the person we aspire to be. It taught me that the true measure of a man is not the size of his wallet, but the size of his heart. It's about generosity, empathy, and the willingness to give without expecting anything in return, but the size of his heart. In the end, it's the love we share and the lives we touch that define our true worth.